So I read several articles today about how this is by far the dirtiest campaign in our nation's history, to which I can only reply that anyone who is of that opinion is either A, delusional, or B, has absolutely no understanding of our election history. This stuff has been going on for a long time. As a matter of fact, it's been going on for more than 200 years now. Let's just take a moment here and step back to the year 1800, when John Adams was facing Thomas Jefferson for the presidential election.
In the year 1800, the president of Yale stated that if Jefferson came to power, we may see, quote, our wives and daughters the victims of legal prostitution. A Connecticut newspaper warned that his election would mean, quote, murder, robbery, rape, adultery, and incest will openly be taught and practiced.
Okay, we're just going to drop that right now. At the time, James Callender, who was a journalist, today we would call him a campaign manager for Jefferson, he said that Adams was a, quote, gross hypocrite who behaved neither like a man nor a woman, but instead possessed a, here we go, a hideous hermaphroditical character.
Wow. Big capital. Freddie Mac.
Last time I checked, nobody's accused any of the candidates of being a hermaphrodite. As an interesting and somewhat humorous aside here, Callender, who again had helped Jefferson become elected in the 1800 election, had been seeking public office in 1802. And when he had been unable to get said office and had consequently become, shall we say, disenfranchised, then we get a rumor that comes out, and this was later proven, but at the time was just a rumor that, Jefferson had an affair and had sired 6 illegitimate children with his slave. Oh, that's right. That came out from that same campaign manager. Sour grapes. John Quincy Adams was accused of pimping for the Tsar of Russia. Literally pimping. The press backing Jackson literally referred to him as the pimp. Kosher food for nursing homes. Both Andrew Jackson supporters who distributed handbills saying that John Adams had driven away a crippled old soldier asking for charity with a horsewhip. In 1835, Davy Crockett was considering a run for the presidency, and he released an article aimed at potential opponent Martin Van Buren, and described him as this. A dandy. When he enters the Senate chamber in the morning, he struts and swaggers like a crow in the gutter. He is laced up in corsets such as a woman in a town may wear, and, if possible, tighter than the best of them. Wow. In 1858, in the first ever Lincoln-Douglas debate, so named because it was literally taking place between Abraham Lincoln and Stephen Douglas. Douglas said that Abraham Lincoln could ruin more liquor than all the boys of the town together. Abraham Lincoln responded that Douglas was a, quote, obstinate animal. So let's just put all this into perspective, okay? Before you start talking about how dirty everything is, just take a look at history. This is a 200-plus year heritage that we have going on. Now, I will grant you, what we have over the discourse that was taking place in 1800 is communication. We have the internet, we have television, we have radio, we have email, we have RSS feeds, we have podcasts. As soon as something happens, as soon as something is said, as soon as one person accuses someone of something anywhere in the world, everywhere else in the world knows about it instantly. We may know about it more now, but don't fool yourself, because that's exactly what you're doing. Do not fool yourself into thinking that suddenly this mudslinging just appeared out of nowhere. No, you're delusional. You know, we like to talk about our founding fathers and put them up on this huge pedestal as if they're almost superhuman. But look, these people were human beings, exactly as they are now. They were fickle, they were petty, and guess what? In 1800, we still wanted to win, okay? That's not something that's just come about recently. And if that means throwing some at your opponent, they would do it. Don't think that they wouldn't do it. Just because you know about it more now and you hear about it more now, don't fool yourself into thinking that all of a sudden this is the dirtiest thing in our history. Because that's just not historically accurate at all.